Did that work? Let's see if that worked. I think it defaulted back to previous settings. Welcome everybody, welcome to Woolen Spinning. If everybody can hear me, can you let me know? Thanks Rebecca for letting me know. It sounds like everybody, I hope it's working now. It says it's working on my end. Welcome to episode 300 and, what episode number is this? 339, I think. It's kind of a weird number. I hope everybody is doing really, really super well. Thank you so much for being here. This is a big day. It is a day of celebration for us because it is our 10-year Patreon anniversary. So today is the day that that I pressed publish on Patreon. And so we have a full day of Patreon celebrations going on over on Zoom. So if you are a part of the Patreon community and you are part of our community, please go ahead and jump onto Patreon or into the Slack channel, click the Zoom button that is in the main feed. It will be going on as long as we possibly can. So it is going to be quite a long day. It's going to be an exciting day. And I just wanted to spend a minute saying thank you for everybody for being here, for supporting the work that I do here. It's meant that I've been able to also bring on Rebecca and Dion, and it just means the world to me to see us continue to grow and continue to expand. As you can see, we are back in our old new space. So it is our old original space, but it is a new space. We still have our posters. The other one is over here. Same as it's always been. I will take some photos when it is done in here. As you can see, there's a door right behind me here, and there's some stuff down on the countertop there. We are not quite finished the cabinetry just yet. We are getting there. Jacob will be coming into the house in a few minutes. He is our cabinetry guy, and he's been working hard to finish everything up. So I'll be getting like door pulls. Right now this is just tape right here. It's like painter's tape. So once he's hung everything and he's balanced it all and he's happy with how it all is, then we'll get our door pulls. But this is our new space. So welcome into the new office space that is Woolen Spinning. I'm just so pleased to be able to share that with you and share you. And like I said, I'll take some photos and I'll use my grapefruit lens and I'll see if I can get some good photos of the space so you guys can see it. Because this is all built out as well in front of me here. But of course you guys don't see that. You see the back side. So if I can very gently move the camera, the other poster that you guys are used to seeing is right there on the wall, and those are all the lights and everything. So I'm trying to move the camera really slowly so that you don't get dizzy. So yeah, we don't have the camera set up quite yet. It is actually sitting on top of a box. So over the next couple of weeks, Mike and I are going to figure out where everything needs to go. We've got to drill some holes in the countertop. We've got to drill some holes in the cabinetry, make sure that all the cables can be put away and that everything is skookum. So thank you so much for your kind words about the space. And we've got a whole group of people watching on Zoom. So the Zoom is running and Rebecca is sharing on there with everyone. So we've got Diane and Rebecca, Glenda, Colleen, Nicole, Pauline, Barbara, Alberto, Tessa, Renata, Ellen, Marilyn, Kath, and Dion. Thank you you guys for being there. So the chat might be a bit quiet today because everybody's in Zoom, but Rebecca's gonna share things so that people can watch both places. Welcome to Christine as well, and welcome to Lily. It's so good to see you guys and have you here. So there's just a couple of little housekeeping things. If you are new here and you're looking and figuring out where to start, there is a start here guide down below. Please click on that link and that will get you started with our community and figuring out where to find everything and what to do. Dion. It is my pleasure to welcome her back. She took a couple of months off to look after her health, but she is back. And so Color Maniacs will be meeting later this month. It is not too late to join in. Just click on the Start Here guide and then go to patreon.com/woolenspinning/join. And you're looking for the Staplers Color group on Patreon. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And they are meeting on Monday. And Dion is going to be running that group for an hour and a half instead of just an hour. And she'll be fielding questions, but doing some demoing as well. So it just gives her more time to really spend with the group and to cover all the things that she wants to cover, as well as all the things that you guys want to cover. So wonderful, wonderful. Here is a sample of our boxes and us moving back into our space. This is what our bedroom looks like a couple of days ago. My goal has been, a dear friend of mine who's has a really lovely way of like looking at the world, and she's just got this really great way. And for the first day or two last week, I was getting through, like I got through half of our boxes within the first week. And now that we're sort of a week in and we're feeling a bit more settled, we've still got the contractors here, they're still coming in and out and doing work and whatnot. She said to me, because I'm feeling like I don't really have places to put stuff because things aren't quite done yet. And she was like, don't even worry about it. She's like, try to do like a box a day. So I've been trying to do 2 to 3 a day and getting my library put away. There's some boxes back here of all my magazines, trying to find all of them, organize them. Some of my books up here, I've been organizing them. There's this over here, this cupboard right here, I'll pop up and I'll show you guys. It has all of my library. So this is not all of it, but it's a lot of it, in library, and it's double deep. So the books go double deep into there. Oh, I didn't close the door. So that'll slowly come together as I sort of figure out where to put things and where to put books. But I've been trying to do 2 to 3 boxes a day and just keeping it really underwhelming, because otherwise it'll be overwhelming. It'll be way too much. So that's been really good. And then Mike and I had the opportunity to go to the Australia-Turkey game this past weekend. It was our birthday weekend, and we had the opportunity to get tickets, and so we got to go to BC Place here in Vancouver. We're one of the host cities for the World Cup, and I'll just make these a little bit bigger so that you guys can see a little bit better. But this was, let me just show you here. I was telling Robin this morning in the Zoom. I'll just move over a little bit so that you guys can see the photos. I can make them even a little bit bigger for you guys so that you can really see. So I'll just pause it here. So in behind, if you look in behind in the photo here, right there, that's BC Place. So for the World Cup, Vancouver is one of the host cities, and we were really, really lucky to be able to get tickets to Saturday night. So it was Turkey against Australia, and that's the stadium there. And Mike and I were just walking along the water from the train to get to downtown because we didn't want to drive and park. And then this is our science world. So the dome there, that we call it here in Vancouver, we call it the golf ball, but it's Science Center. It's Science World, and they've made it into the FIFA World Cup ball. And you can see that it's been unseasonably hot here. It's been really, really, really hot, and the sky, everything was just absolutely beautiful. And then this is the stadium lit up at just as halftime was ending and the players were coming back out onto the pitch. And you guys, I was telling Robin, she's from Australia, she's Australian. The Australian fans, granted they were winning, but oh my goodness, it was off the hook. It was so loud and so crazy. And they took over everybody's cell phones if you scanned the QR code, and they had the whole stadium flashing, and it was just incredible. And of course it was Australia won, and they were so loud, you could feel it in your chest, you could feel it vibrating, because it was so loud. So really incredible experience. I felt really, really thankful to be able to go. So Nicole says, I have serious home decor envy. We are trying to sell our flat to relocate, and I really have the bug to do some interior design in the new place. Absolutely, Nicole. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is worth it. I will say we had a designer help us. We were able to hire somebody locally who was really, really helpful. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. And she even took into account the color that we chose for in here is 2 shades darker than the color that we chose for the kitchen. And she even took into account what it would look like on the camera. So she tested all of these colors that she thought would work on the camera and slowly eliminated the ones that wouldn't work. And we went with 2 shades darker in here because of what it would look like on the camera, which just, she went above and beyond. It was incredible. So yeah. Yeah, Rebecca says, I'm amazed at how much it looks like your design photos. Yes, I have to admit, I mean, that's the whole point, but it's still, when you're in it, it's pretty crazy. So thank you everyone. Linda says, congratulations. Thank you. There is going to be a whole bunch of noise in a couple of minutes because they just arrived next door to do all of the mowing. So as they fire up all of the lawnmowers and whatnot, I'm going to run the intro credits. So there they go. It's almost like I can just time it for the live stream and then all of a sudden all these things start happening. Rebecca says, I love the lighting so much. Thank you. Yes, that took a lot of thinking through the process, you know, the art light and the strip lighting to give me that back lighting that you need when you're doing the podcast. That was all Chelsea, our designer. So thank you. All right, let's run the intro and I will see you guys on the other side. We've got a few things to chat about today. So they've got the lawnmowers right here, but they should be moving past. So hopefully they'll be moving into the backyard and it won't be too bad. So I wanted to start off, I actually finished my spindling project. I have a couple of finishing things to share with you. I feel so far behind on everything right now, and I feel like I'm just playing catch up right now with everything. And I suspect that that is in fact the case. Like I really am kind of behind on things. But I don't have any like formal show notes today. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit just with everything, and we might be a little bit kind of all over the map today. So just bear with me. As you guys know, that's not normally what the show is like, but it's been, even just getting into this space and setting up the monitors and setting up the cameras and stuff has been a bit of a, has been a bit challenging. So it's, you know, just getting into a new place, you guys know. It didn't feel as smooth coming home as it did moving to Mom's. And Mike's been trying his best, but he took 2 days off last week and it just wasn't enough time. So yeah, thank you for your grace today. Dion says, everything looks great. The background lighting has such a great glow. Thank you. Yes. And Marilyn says, house envy. Thanks, you guys. Once we're settled, we will... I'll do some photos of the main house too. I might even do a little like tour and I'll show you guys the before and after, because it is a pretty big undertaking that Mike and I took. And part of our reason for doing it, I think I shared this on the podcast back in the fall, but if I didn't, one of our reasons for doing this was because we want to stay here like forever kind of thing. Like we have no intention of moving ever unless there was some unforeseen circumstance or something. And if we did go, like if let's say we lived in England for 6 months or something, we would just rent out our home. So our whole point was to stay here. We feel very settled here. The first morning that we were back, so we stayed our first night last Wednesday. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, because she knows that I'm an early riser, one of my dear friends here in the cul-de-sac, she texted me at 6:15 and was like, I've got coffee, because she knew that I didn't have my coffee stuff unboxed yet. Nothing was set up. And so she's like, please come over. So I went over and we had coffee on the front porch. It was just so, like, that's why we're not moving. It's a very strong sense of community here. So... all right, let's talk about spindling first, although it's a very short segment, because I just wanted to share with you my finished spindles, and then hopefully next time I'll have it plied. We also don't have a second camera today. Mike and I couldn't figure out where to set it up. So I've been carrying this around with me for months. You guys have seen this before. It's my box that our dear friend Dorothy, who's one of our stalwarts of our community, sent me with some other stuff in it. But I have been working on this CVM blend from my friend Melissa of Melly Knits for a very long time. And I have been slowly filling up my spindles, and I finally last night at soccer, I was like, I cannot do another podcast episode and not have you guys like I can't do another podcast and say, oh, I still haven't finished this project. I was just like, I have to get it done. So they're having some issues on Zoom, so I'm just gonna let them catch up because Rebecca's gonna reshare. Yeah, we lost on Zoom. Thanks, Alberto. I'll just slow down for a minute so that you guys can catch up. So this one is my Bosworth. This one's a Bosworth. And this one is an Ed Pretty, and this one's an Ed Pretty. So these two are my Ed Pretty spindles. You can find him on Facebook, Ed Pretty, Pretty. I love his suspended spindles, love them. And then these are my Bosworth spindles. I love them too. I would say of all of my suspended spindles, my drop spindles, these are the two makers that I love the most. They're actively still making spindles. I love my David Smith, my hound design, but he's not making them anymore. But these are, I have 6 of these in total. I have another Bosworth and I have another Ed Pretty. They're my absolute most favorite spindles. I love them. They're all between 28 and 34 grams. Not super heavy, but not super, super, super light. And I really like the hooks on all of them. They all have the same type of hook, which I really, really, really like. 3 of them have maple shafts and maple, these 2 are maple tops. Although I think this one might be cherry, could be wrong. And then these ones are different types of walnut, I think. I know this one for sure is walnut, for sure. Anyways, the spinning went really smoothly. It just took me a while. I started this project back when James was playing soccer with his school team back in the fall, and I think I just got derailed with it with the fall and winter that we had. But I got this one finished yesterday, and we are all ready to ply. So actually Ellen was showing us this morning on her setup. She was showing us, because we were talking about how to organize books and magazines and whatnot, because I'm really finding that I'm having to move things around quite intentionally right now. And I'm moving things, and I think, you know, I put something somewhere and I think that's where it's going to live, and then I have to move it. And it's just the nature of moving into a space. But she was showing us how she stores her spindles. And the nice thing about it is she's got all these boxes with all of these holes in them. And she has them all stored, and, you know, if they're her supported spindles, they are sitting like this, and are suspended. She's got sitting. And it got me thinking about sort of the type of boxes that out there that are available now to wind off spindles. And I have a couple that work really super well, but I liked the size of the holes in hers. I need to find out from her where she got them from, because they didn't really look like IKEA boxes, but I'll find out from her and I'll let you guys know, and I'll see if I can get some. So in the meantime though, I'll wind these off and get this plied. It'll be a very woolen 2-ply. I did the 30-gram sample for Melissa of this fiber. It was a Guts Club from October of 2024. 2024. So I'll get this done, and then I'll have a little sampler, a little bit, and I'll have enough to knit a toque. So that is definitely my plan, is to do a toque out of this yarn and not let it languish and stash, because I love the color, and it'll be woolly and warm. And now that I don't have bangs anymore, I can actually wear my toques again. So every time, like when you have bangs, it's so hard to wear hats, because it just immediately, you either have to keep the hat on, or you have to, you know, it just doesn't work. So, because it messes up your hair so badly. So, sorry, this isn't closing because I have some of my the spindles are in the way. So that is that. I'm very happy with how that came out. And I'll start another spindling project once we're a bit more settled. I know exactly what I want to do, and I just have to pull it out and get going. Yeah. Oh, hi Lisa, good to see you. Rebecca, you're so funny. I see you've got it all running. Again, it paused in the Zoom, so Rebecca got it all up and running. All right, let's talk about a little bit of knitting, because I actually have a finished object. It's not washed and blocked just yet. I finished it this morning when we were in Zoom doing our 10-year Patreon anniversary. So, but I'll share that with you, and I'll share with you some progress and some knitting that I've got going. So let's do knitting next. So I don't normally do knitting before I finish off with all my spinning, but I really wanted to share with you some swatching that I've been doing. So these were some yarns that I actually spun and did the fiber prep for, like we made the bats in the new spinning cotton course on the School of Sweet Georgia. So I've been knitting these up, and this is a cotton blend with Polworth. Is this one Polworth? And flax. And you can see you get that like real tweedy effect in there. The cotton just didn't really want to blend. It really wanted to stick to itself and remain cohesive with itself. And it didn't want to distribute very well. And then this one is BFL. And again, the cotton just didn't distribute very well through it and stayed really super tweedy. So this one's BFL silk with the cotton. And then this one was Polworth with flax and cotton added, and you can see how tweedy they stayed. So I washed these yesterday, and I think I will give them just a very light press. But the spinning cotton course is now available on the School of Sweet Georgia, and there is an affiliate link down below if you want to go and check that out. And then I bought on Megan had a sale going on her website for the wool linen yarns on Bramble Ridge. And this is 70% organic wool, 30% linen, and it's the DK weight. So I've been working up the fingering 4-ply in Squall for the oolong tea, which I'll show you in just a minute. And I've been really enjoying knitting with it so much, and I've been wanting to play around with making some blends with wool and linen. And I sort of thought, oh, I wonder if the DK is a little bit heavier. Like, I wonder if it feels heavy at all. And it definitely feels denser for sure. But I did a swatch on 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, US size 6 and 7 needles. I'm going to get this wrong. Dion, you might have to help me. US size 6 and 7, I think it was 4.5 millimeter and 5 millimeter needles. Because I'd really like to do Alicia Plummer's Bliss Tank, which is one of her free patterns. It was a thank you to her community. So you can see this is the 5 millimeter. It's quite a bit more open and loose, but it still keeps its shape. It's still like the garter is really pleasing. And then the 4.5 millimeter is definitely a little bit denser, a little bit more, but it's very open gauge. The pattern is meant to be very open, and the DK is meant to be knit very lightly, with big open stitches. So that's all washed and blocked as well. And I've got that ready to go, and I used my laundry sink for the first time. I've never had a laundry sink. I used it for the first time, and I meant to pop a photo in, and I forgot of what it looked like in the sink. Let me see if I can grab it really quickly while we're chit-chatting. Yeah, here it is. So I had it in my laundry sink, all ready to go, and I'll just throw it into the chat here. It was so pleasing, honestly. It was so pleasing to be able to like wash something in the sink. It's a big open sink. I'll just make this a bit smaller. And so I had the swatches, and then something else that I we'll talk about in a few minutes, one of my shawls that I've been hanging on to at my mom's house. But having that nice deep sink and being able to, I put, eucalyptus in there. I ran the hot water, like just having, it's a big stainless steel sink. It's nothing super special, but just having that space to be able to have a proper laundry sink. Oh my goodness, what a difference. I've always been sort of trying to make it work in the kitchen, and it just meant that like I had the space, there's no divider. Our previous sink was a 60-40 split, and everybody kept telling me to get rid of it. When you go to your new kitchen, like get a proper, basin sink, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, like it'll be fine. Like I won't notice that much of a difference. It's a huge difference. Just being able to get in there and like really, full things properly. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the show, but oh my goodness, what a difference. So really, really pleased about that. So got all this washed yesterday. Like I said, we're having unseasonably hot weather. It was 30 degrees Celsius yesterday, which is really unusual for this time of year. Growing up, my birthdays, it always rained year after year on my birthday. And this year it's just been hot, blue skies, 30, 32 degrees every day. It's been hot. Yeah, I put everything outside and it was all dry by bedtime. It was so lovely to have that, like to have a space and to be able to actually like do the thing properly. It was really nice. So yeah. Love the sage green so much. Yes. Amazing amount of spindling. Yes. Thank you, Linda. Yeah. Thank you, Rebecca. It works with my hair color. If I do a 2-cut of that, spindled yarn, I think it'll work. So finished knitted objects. I'm not going to run another, like divider, but, Rebecca knows in the timestamp, she'll throw in a timestamp for here. I finished this morning, actually, my moon set tee. So this ended up being really like enjoyable to finish up. They brought out the weed whacker, so I hope it's not too loud for you guys. I don't know why we're cutting our lawns. Like the lawns have died. They're all inert now, but we're still cutting our lawns, but that's okay. So this is the moon set tee. This is by Ozetta Haley Smedley. It's got the lovely V-neck. You start at the back neck. Oh, I have to spin Diana the other way. You start here at the back neck and you work your way down. And then once you've built the back, you go back and pick up stitches along the seam at the shoulder and you work your way down the front. And you work the ribbed button, the ribbed V-neck. And then once you get to the same depth as the back, then you attach it all and you work in the round all the way down to the bottom. And you get this lovely rolled hem at the bottom because it's just an I-cord bind off, and it's the same with the sleeves. And I was gonna change that and I was gonna do something like a rib or something so that it remains straight, but I really liked the sample. I thought it looked really lovely. And so I just left it. I knit this 2 sizes higher than I normally would. So I chose intentionally a bust size, the upper bust that was 2 sizes up, so that it would be a little bit more, I would have a little bit more depth in the yoke and more just general positive ease, because I'm hoping that this will be a really lovely shoulder season piece. This is my Jacob from Cold Valley Farms in Wisconsin. This was a fleece that was washed by my friend Melissa, and I bought it Fibers West. I think when I don't know if Rebecca was here. Was that when you were here for Knit City, maybe in October? Or maybe I bought it in Knit City or Fibers West in March a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And I spun up all of the 2-ply. I separated all of the colors out so that I had all of the cream, all of the gray, and all of the dark brown from the Jacob, because Jacob fleece, you get all those beautiful natural colors. And then I evenly divided all of it so that, and I talked about this on the podcast over time, but I evenly divided it so that the 2 halves, each bobbin, had equal parts dark brown, equal parts gray, equal parts cream. You might hear some noise because Jacob, the cabinet guy, is just coming in. And then I carded all of that up, and I ended up with sort of 1 bobbin of the one color, 1 bobbin of the other. My total yardage was about 1,000 yards. And I ended up with sort of this overall slightly, variegated This on the show, like on the camera, it's showing like a stripe here, but it actually doesn't, in real life, it doesn't look like that. I think it's because you've got this dark heathering right here, and then you've got the dark heathering over here as well. But in real life, it all looks very cohesive. Maybe on the back, you can kind of see how you get these like sections that were a bit lighter. But overall, just really lovely yarn to work with. Knit on 3mm needles, which is a US size. Help me out, Dion. US size. Is that a US size 2 or US size 3? And then I didn't size down for the I-cord. I did the same size needles. Oh, you guys didn't hear the weed whackers. That's amazing, because it's amazing how with Zoom, it really gets rid of a lot of that ambient noise. We were talking about that this morning. But sometimes my cameras and my microphone pick up some of that stuff. So it's always like, well, which one is going to, you know, pick all that noise up. So very happy with this. Just needs to be washed and blocked, and then I'll report back about the fit and everything. But I did try it on a couple of weeks ago when I was, because I wasn't sure how long to make it. I did lengthen it by a couple of inches. So my version is closer to 15 inches, whereas in the pattern, I think it's like 13, but my torso is too long. So I did lengthen it, and this will wash and block nice and straight. And then over time, it'll kind of curl up like it is now. And hopefully it'll just create that really pleasing edge. So really, really, really happy with how this came out, and very thankful that it's done. And then, oh, thank you, Rebecca. So US size 2.5 or 3. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And then because I've been working like crazy to get the moon set tee done, I actually haven't made a ton of progress on my oolong tee, but this one is kind of neat. It has this, oh, so this is the oolong tee. So it's got this lovely lace panel that runs down the front. So you do the 2 lace panels up the front, and then they deviate and they kind of create that V-neck. Oh, thank you, thank you. 3mm equals a US size 2.5. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. And I got this cast on a few weeks ago. It's getting to be a while now. And again, this is that linen DK, and I had seen somebody at Knit City Calgary when Rebecca and I were there, wearing this in this gorgeous kind of vert green, real like tree green. And she's redhead, and it just looked great. And I should have bought the yarn then, but I was waffling, and it was towards the end of the weekend. I was feeling really fried emotionally and physically. That was when my car broke down. It was just this big thing. And so, when Megan put her wool linen yarn on sale about a month ago, I thought, this is a sign. I need to make this shirt. So in the squall colorway, and so I've done how many repeats? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the 5th repeat now of the lace. So that's it there. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. Love that. And that's how it'll look like when it's on. Once it's washed and blocked, it'll look even nicer. But you start off with a twisted rib, and then you work up to the length that you want for the tank, and then you divide and work for your 2 fronts and your back in it, and then a 3 needle bind off up here. So yeah, really, really pretty. I said to the girls, did I tell you guys this already? It's all a bit of a blur right now. I said to the girls, at knitting group, I was like, what do people wear underneath? And they were like, well, you could wear like a skin colored bra, you could wear a bralette, you could put a tank top underneath. So I'm gonna have to play with a few different things, because I don't think there is one answer. I think you could try a few different things. One of the girls that I was chatting with a couple of weeks ago, she's quite small up top, and she has like cups that she wears, where it's just the cup. And I could see how, depending on your body shape and your confidence and stuff, that would work. I don't think I have the confidence to do that, but I'll have to play around with what I'm going to put underneath. Nora was asking me actually for a couple of tank tops to wear under some of her stuff, because she's wants to be covered, but wants to wear, she's crocheted a couple of tops, but like you can see through the fabric. So we have to go and do a little shop, and I'll report back what we decide to do. Rebecca says the impressive thing is that when I'm sharing sound from my computer, it knows not to pick it up also from the microphone. Isn't that incredible? Yes. I love this so much. Rebecca says, I love that, says Linda. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much. It's so kind. I love how this is coming up. And actually, now that the moonset tee is done, I'm really looking forward to be able to get some work done on this, because the nice thing about these tank tops and short sleeve shirts and whatnot is you don't then have all of that knitting of the sleeve, and there is something really lovely about that, to know that when you divide for the front and back, you really are almost done. So that there is, that's a nice thing about the these kind of summer knits, if you will. It's really quite lovely. Quite lovely. All right, I wanted to tell you guys what ended up happening with Toothy. So let's do that next. So I wanted to share with you, before we get too much further, I wanted to share with you where I am at with my Make 9. So Toothy is part of my Make 9 because it has been hanging over me for so long, and I've been really trying to get this spin done, and it just keeps getting pushed to the back burner because it's something that I just don't make a priority. So Toothy is the one that's it's in the middle there, on the far right hand side. And so far of my Make 9, I've actually been able to finish my Auguste, my Fisherman's Rib, which is right here, that was my Spin December, my Sweet Georgia combo, and my floral napkins, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And now I'm working away on Toothy, so I'm really doing well. The Romney is going to be my Tour de Fleece spin. It's already prepped. I talked about that on the last show, or the one before. And then the Overshot scarves, I'm kind of half done. That one shifted and changed a little bit, so that one's going to be a little bit fluid. And the Lincoln Jacob is the one that's the fleece that Dion sent me that I needed to be back in the house for, to do that fiber prep. And the Champagne in the middle, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. We'll chat about that later in the summer. So what ended up happening was, last show I was sharing with you guys the roving of the West Coast color that I had, and it was all compacted from being stored for so long, and it just wasn't drafting nicely, and I was really torn about what to do. So what I ended up doing, and the photos are here, these are the layers of the bats. I did end up carding it. So I put it through my small hand crank drum carder, and I ended up, I'm almost done the first of 2 bats, and I ended up with all of these really lovely, like really lovely. They are so nice. I wish I had done this from the get-go. Batlings, and they came off the carder so nicely that I almost kind of don't want to spin them, but I have been, and they've been lovely. And it's because the Toothy, like the whole like purpose of this roving, it was just wool pool, and it was all different lengths. And Lynn from West Coast Color, she had just sort of dyed, like kettle dyed it basically, and sort of space dyed it. So there was big sections that were undyed that were just the natural brown. So by carding it, it just makes it a little bit more even. All those short bits kind of got taken out on the liquor in, but it just evened it all out. It's given it this lovely heathering look, and talk about easy to spin. So definitely the way to go to throw it through the drum carder. I'm down to the last 6. Yeah, the last 5 batlings, and I've done 2 bobbins, and here's one of them. And it's just been spinning up so well and so easily, and actually quite a bit more even too than the other one. So that's a bit of a problem. But I'm just going to distribute these yarns that I pull off from this stuff. I'm just going to evenly distribute them through the warp and weft of the with the other yarns that I've already spun. So I'm actually hoping that I'll have this done for the next show, which would be a huge accomplishment, because I've been enjoying spinning it so much, and I've been sort of holding off on starting anything else because I've got a couple of big weft articles that are going to be due late summer, early fall. And some of them are doing the summer and some of them are doing the fall, and I need to get those done. That has to be my priority for the next little while. So the podcast can be a little bit boring for a couple episodes, but that's okay. There's lots of other things to talk about. So that'll be spun up really quickly. And I'll show you guys actually the other bat if you want to see. It came off the drum carder. This was only 2 passes. It went through the drum carder just beautifully. And so this is, I had rolled it up just for storage. This is it here. And then, so just unrolling it, and this is one of the sheets here. And this is the other sheet. So this is it here. Just so nice, really light, came off beautifully. And then I've just been taking the bat itself and stripping it down like this, and then making the little batlings and pre-drafting them a little bit. So really, really happy with how this ended up turning out. So thank you to all of you guys for really encouraging me to keep on going and to do something with it, rather than just abandoning ship, because I was feeling frustrated and I was tired, and I just needed a little fire under my butt, and you guys definitely showed up. So thank you, thank you. And I'll just keep spinning and then I'll start plying. So the other yarn, I don't know if you guys remember this, but the other yarns, what I kept doing was I'd fill a bobbin and then ply, and then fill bobbins and then ply. And so the bobbins were all kind of like half empty, and I'd start plying, and then I would, you know, fill it back up again and then ply and fill it back up. And it worked really well because it felt like the project kept moving. And then I kind of got stalled with these last 2 braids and got onto other stuff, and there was the Sweet Georgia deadlines, and I just never came back to it. So really, really, really happy. Yeah. Yay that it's finally easy to spin. Did it change the singles enough that it'll be noticeable? I don't think so. And I think if I distribute it through the rest, you won't be able to tell. So yeah, it's such a chameleon color. Sometimes it looks yellow, sometimes green, and sometimes it looks brown in real life. I'll have to try to get some photos where you can really see it. So yeah, that is that. And I think that's all the spinning. So let's move on to some weaving. I have to say, that divider, you know how it says looming? It's that for a reason. It's meant to be a bit of a joke, because I absolutely hate it when people ask me what I'm looming. It's not a verb. Looming is not a thing. And it just drives me batty. So that's why we call it looming. It's because it's weaving, and it just kind of cracks me up every time somebody says, "Oh, you've got a loom. What are you looming?" I just, but it's because it's an opportunity to educate. So I have been sitting on this stuff and haven't finished it while we were at my mom's. And the reason is because she only has a top loading washing machine, and it's 40 years old, if not maybe a bit older. And I was really nervous to put some of this stuff in her washing machine. And so I decided to I shared it on the podcast and shared it finished on the podcast, but then I kind of put it away until we got back into our home. Because I find with the front loader, I've got a newer front loader. It's only about 5 years old, maybe 4 years old now, maybe 5 years old. And it's a Mila. It's a little bit smaller than most North American brands. And it's funny because living in North America, I got a ton of flack when I bought them, and everybody was like, it's too small, you're not going to like it, you're going to regret it, they're more expensive, blah, blah, blah. I have loved my Mila washer and dryer. I rave about them every chance I get. But one of the things that I find is that I just find it's a bit gentler, and that front loader, I can watch the articles going through. So if I'm worried about something, I can stop the washing machine. And I've never had to, but there's been a couple of times with the dryer where I have stopped it. But you can stop any dryer. But the washing machine, that ability to see through the glass and be able to see, and just that slightly gentler mode, it makes me less nervous. I also have a drain and spin that's really, really, really fast. So what I did with this, I already showed you the photo. I put this in my laundry sink with quite hot water, not so hot that I couldn't put my hands in, but hotter, with eucalyptus. And the two colorways that are in this is Bramble Ridge Duck Hunt and Mushroom Hunt, and the Price of Eggs. So the weft is the Price of Eggs going up this way, and the warp, the stripes that you see are Mushroom Hunt. And after I soaked it for about 20 minutes, half an hour, until the water had cooled right down, I very gently squeezed it. So I went like this and I just very gently squeezed it, and then I threw it into the front loader of my Mila and spun it. And then from there, I normally would put something like this in the dryer for a few minutes, but it's so warm right now that it actually came out of the washer basically dry. So I just hung it to dry, and so it's finally sort of washed and finished, if you will. So this is what it looks like from a distance. And it's the perfect length for around your neck. You can pop it over if you want. It's great for under a coat. I'll probably wear it like this, like that, and maybe with a shawl pin here to hold it. And then I have to trim all of this. I have no idea where my rotary cutter is or my my mat, so I have to find those. And then up close, this is an advancing twill. I did a very, very, very simple, just 4-shaft advancing twill. And so up close, that's what the pattern looks like. So you can really see it in those high contrast areas, and then it disappears in the low contrast areas, which you guys know I love that so much. And I love that kind of peekaboo effect. And the nice thing is with this, it's quite striped because that dark brown in there from the Mushroom Hunt. And so you can see it all the way up. I haven't trimmed my ends yet, but this is the right side. And so you can see it all the way up, and then you can really see the colors in the fringe. And this just needs to all be trimmed once I find out my rotary cutter. So really happy with how this came out. Pre-washing, let me see, pre-washing, it was 13 picks per inch, 15 ends per inch. Post-washing, it's 15 picks per inch, 16 ends per inch. So it shrunk only a little bit. And the overall length, I lost just a couple of inches lengthwise and about half an inch widthwise. So really, really good. Barely any shrinking. So yeah. Yeah, Christine, my laundry sink is a bathtub. Before we pulled out our bathroom, our bathtub in our room, it was a custom, when they built the house 40 years ago, it was a custom tub because the space was so big, and it's too big. There was no way I could have, other than having buckets in there full of for washing fleece, I couldn't use it as a bathtub because it was so big. And then the kids had this glass that hindered you from being able to get into the tub. So I couldn't use either of the bathtubs. So the kids have a proper bathtub now that doesn't have all the glass. And so I could use that in the future. And then we don't have a tub anymore because it's just too big of a space. So yeah. Can you show the wrong side, please? Totally, Christine. Absolutely. It's basically the same. And the nice thing about this is I went through and I tried to find any errors and any skips, but I couldn't find any because, and I know there probably are some, they just disappear. So that's kind of nice. And this still needs to be pressed. I do need to press it, but, and there's a little bit of striping in places from the Cost of Eggs, like in here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can get a bit closer. There's in the Price of Eggs, which is basically the same colorway as Mushroom Hunt. It's just much, much, much paler. Like it's the whole thing is like uber pastel. So you get kind of these little stripes in here that are that dark brown color. But the tint is so extreme that you just don't really see it. So that's what that striping is. They're not fold marks. They look like a shadow or a fold, but it's actually that orangey color in there that is this color if it was full saturation, which is really cool. And then same here. So yeah, so that is that. All right. And then the other thing that I finally washed, again, I didn't want to put it in my mom's machine. These are my floral napkins, the floral bouquet napkins. So I played around with the set on these, and I used 10-2 cotton instead of what was called for in the pattern, because it would have just cost too much in yarn, and I needed too many colors and so on and so forth. So these just scream spring to me. I don't know why. But they're meant to be like, these are the flowers, and then these are meant to be like the leaves and the stems. So really gorgeous overshot weaving pattern. It was in hand woven summer 2025. Yeah, I think so. It's available on the Long Thread Media website too. And I did make a couple of errors. You can see one is right there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back and fix some of that, but I might just leave it, to be honest, because I have quite a few. This one is one of Nora's favorites. It's pink and orange. This one's pink and blue. It's one of my favorites. I love the pink and blue together. Pink and navy blue is one of my favorite combinations. This one's the wine burgundy red with the blue. And then this is actually one of James's favorites. It's the burgundy wine color with the orange. And then this one is the burgundy with the wine burgundy with the pink, which I think is really pretty because it's so subtle. But you still got that depth in there. And then this one is the blue with the orange, which are complements, which, you know, sort of jump out at you, but it's very effective with the green. And then this one was the very first one when I was kind of figuring everything out. I made a couple of errors in this one, but it's the blue and pink again, because I just love that combination. And then at some point in here somewhere, who knows where, I did do a little sampler to save for my, the border, and then one repeat to save for my samples. So these started off 36 picks per inch by 28 picks per inch, and that includes the color and the tabby for the picks per inch, and they really shrunk. So now they're 43 picks per inch to 30 ends per inch. So big change in the picks per inch. But it's, the nice thing about that is it looks more cohesive. It looks more cohesive. They really fit into place. They look like roses or like florals. It's very dainty. And my set was off by 1 end. So I think the pattern was like 28 ends per inch, and I did 27 or 26 or something. So my napkins are a little bit bigger. So once I get these hemmed, I'm going to do these by hand. I'm going to work on them on our way to Jasper this summer. So I'm going to put this away and pack it for taking to Jasper and do them by hand. I think they'll just be really, really lovely. Kind of bigger napkins. You know, they'll have a nice shape to them. This is what they'll kind of look like when they're done. So that size, a little bit bigger than what you would normally have for a napkin, but they really cover your lap. And with the cotton, they'll be so washable. So really, really happy with them. Really happy. Yeah, Lisa said, are you happy with them? I am. And you know, I have to say a really special thank you to Lisa, because I talked through a lot of it with her, because I was changing the yarn, I was changing the set, I was worried about squaring off because the whole point is that the florals, let me just pull it over here. Like, the whole point is that your floral is squared. Like, that's the whole point. You want that squared, you want that squared. This is the beginning. The border is so pretty. It's meant to be like leaves. Not pretty. They look like flower pots. So this is what the towel looks like start to end. This, or not towel, napkin. Here, I'll show you the other side, so you don't have to look at all the ends. The ends aren't cut yet. Here you go. Nope, can't do that. That's the wrong side. This is the right side. You're gonna have to look at ends. Sorry. But this is what it looks like start to finish. Isn't that pretty? and I was worried, right? Like I was sort of like I was playing with the pattern. It was very, very petite, very, you want something that's really dainty looking. That was the whole point. And I think I got that. So thank you, Lisa, for talking me through it. Cause I kept bouncing ideas off of her and she'd be like, well, what about this? And I'd be like, okay, let me think about that. Okay, what about this? So really, really thankful. So thank you, Lisa. And I'm excited to use them. That's the whole point. They took so much work. I want to use them. It's a 4-shaft pattern, so definitely doable. The treadling pattern is a little bit complicated, but once you get through that first couple of towels, I memorized it and I could see where I was in the pattern. And so it's overshot. It is overshot. And there's places in it, so let's get nerdy for just a sec. There's places at the beginning and the end. So at the beginning of the towel down here, when you're weaving sort of the little flower pot kind of leaf things, you're carrying 3 shuttles. You're carrying the tabby, the cream color, you're carrying the green, and you're carrying the color, the 2 colors. So they end up looking like this. That first one was a mistake. It didn't have both colors, but you're carrying, 4 shuttles. You've got the green, the tabby, and then the 2 colors. So that's pink and blue. So you've got the pink and blue, you're carrying it up the side, and then you've got the green, you're carrying that up the side, and then pink, pink, blue, blue, green, 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 pink, pink, blue, blue, and then you drop your pink and your blue, and you just weave with your green and your tabby, and then you weave just with your colors. But then you keep your colors on the side. You don't cut them here. You just add in your green, cut your green, and then keep on going. And then add in your green, cut it, keep on going. So you do end up with a lot going on the edge, a little kind of picot edge kind of thing. But that's what they look like. And it took me probably about 2 towels to like really get the hang of it. In terms of like, you know, and then once I had it, then you're off to the races. But it's still time consuming because you're carrying 2 shuttles, 3 shuttles at all times, and then sometimes 4. So time consuming, very, very time consuming. There was another weaving project that I was hoping to finish at Mom's, and I didn't get it done because of this one taking a long time. So yeah. I used the same yarn for the tabby. So in the pattern, it calls for a cotton for your tabby and then a linen yarn for your color. But I did cotton for both. So I did a 10-2 cotton tabby in natural. And then I did denim. I'll put it in my Ravelry project page, the colors that I used, because they're Maurice Brassard, so they're all French. But yeah, I used you know, like leaf green, rose pink, wine red. I tried to match the colors to the original pattern, and if I were to do it again, now that I know the pattern, I would choose different colors. I would choose colors that are more what I like, but I'm not super confident yet about taking a pattern and changing it too much. It's not like knitting where I feel like I can just, you know, substitute, and that's coming. I feel more confident starting from scratch with nothing, if that makes sense. So a little bit different. It's kind of a bit backwards with weaving. So yeah, I'll report back, but I'll fill out my Ravelry project page for you with all the colors. But yeah, and it's available on the Long Thread Media if you're a member of this site, and it is in Handwoven 2024, summer of 2024. See, I want to get to the point where I can just reach over and be like this one, because the magazine is like right there, you know, and I can reference things really, really seamlessly. That's the goal. All right, I'm looking around. I think that's everything that I wanted to share with you guys, but I do want to do a community participation. So it'll just take me a minute to set that up because I'm not totally sure where it went on all of my screens. So just give me a sec here, you guys. Okay, yay, it worked. I'm getting the hang of all this Mac stuff. See, on top of moving, I've been, or since Christmas, I've been getting getting the hang of all the Mac stuff on top of it, and I'm getting pretty good. Deidre, thank you so much. That's really helpful. It was summer of 2025, the hand woven summer 2025, and actually I saw the pattern in there. This is really rare for me. You guys know that. I saw it and I was like, I have to make those, and that's really unusual for me. So yeah. Yeah, Christine said there'll be a cross between a napkin and a hand towel. That's actually really true. And I could use them as hand towels if I just feel like once they're hemmed, they're too big for napkins. I could use them as fingertip towels in the powder room. The colors aren't quite right, but they're so pretty it doesn't matter. All right. I have to say before we get started on community participation that over the last week or so, you guys have been, or probably a couple weeks, there has been so much, and you guys have been sharing so much. And I don't know if it's the time of year or if people are just really inspired right now, or if they're is there something in the water? I don't know. But you guys have just been making so much. So it's just a pleasure to be able to share. Florence has been working on her 52 weeks of using what she has, and she's been so prolific this year. It's been unbelievable. She's been sharing her journey in Ravelry, and you are welcome to share alongside her if you're doing something similar. So she finished off a modified zwig. I think that's how you say it. I love this. I think it is so pretty. Fingering weight superwash yarn held with 2 cotton yarns, and I love the color that she picked for this, and I hope that she keeps it because these colors will look awesome on her. And then she did another one. This is why I'm disappointed, but when designers showcase their patterns in black, it's impossible to see details. The fine cashmere was held with a fine wool, and it was a Giselle with modification of a wider lace panel down the sleeves, and she regrets not tweaking the stitch pattern to stagger the finish at the bottom of the yoke. I shall definitely do that next time to reduce the straight line effect. I hear you, Florence, absolutely, but regardless, it is beautiful. Really, really pretty. And I totally get what you mean about black yarn. It's hard to see. And then, like I said, you guys have been making just a ton. So this is from Annie. Finished a handspun project. The contrast color is Cormo in the Scruff colorway, which is one of Bramble Ridge's colorways, my friend Megan. And the main color is Corriedale blended with Alpaca. The Corriedale is a 3-ply. The Cormo was a 2-ply. They played very well together. Finished the hat. Her husband tried it on. It was a bit too small, so she ripped back the brioche, which is not for the faint of heart. Well done, Annie. And added another inch. Hopefully it fits perfectly now. It's funny, when he tried it on, I got deja vu to the hat that he wore in high school all the time. I guess I subconsciously picked the pattern based on that. It's beautiful, Annie. You did a gorgeous job. And the cool thing about brioche toques, they're reversible, so she can turn it inside out. So cool. This is from Colleen. I love this color, Colleen. Finished her salmon colored border, merino border lister fiber that she blended first on the blending board from several trips through the carder. Woolen spun 2-ply on her Shack matchless. All I have left to do is swatch, and she's got almost 1,000 yards. Beautiful. This is from Renata. I have to say, Renata, this is just beautiful. I love this yarn so much, especially this one, the third one down here. And that swatch is just, I love it so much. This is fiber from John Arbin. It's Seafarer in the colorways Venus and Kelpie, 90% wool, 10% silk. 3 plies. So she did 1 skein with 3 singles of Kelpie, 1 skein with 2 of Kelpie, 1 of Venus, 1 skein with 1 Kelpie, 2 Venus. Very like it very much. The white silk and the white gray Kelpie mute the kind of ski toned colors. I just love this yarn so much. I kind of want to steal it. I love it so much, and I love how you did the singles. I think that's awesome. It sort of ends up being a gradient without being in your face. I just love it. I think it's great. I love your knit swatch here. It's just fantastic. This is from Glenda. I have to say, can we just pause here and ooh and ah over Glenda's spinning? This is just gorgeous spinning. Local Guild was given some alpaca fiber. We decided to have a challenge and make a project to show at our September meeting. So she's still got a couple of months to go. She blended 2 of the colors with silk, and then the darker color was peduncle added to it, and the lighter color was tussa. The yarn is about 20 wraps per inch, about 1,500 yards total. The next step is to weave a couple of scarves. Oh, Glenda, beautiful. I love this so much. Love this. Very, very pretty. So lovely. Another one from Glenda is the 3-ply hand spun socks. This is BFL Massam in the Giddy Up colorway, which was Knit City last year in Calgary. It was the Giddy Up colorway, and I actually brought this back for Glenda because she had brought my Carter over and did all of that. And so I got her a braid of this, and she spun it up. It just looks beautiful here, and then knit it up into socks. So I hope they're not scratchy on your feet. I actually find the BFL Massam it softens. One of these, I don't know which one. I don't think that it's the Mushroom Hunt. I think it's the Price of Eggs was BFL Massam, and like I can't even feel it. I can't feel it at all. It's super soft. So gorgeous, Glenda. Well done. This is from Evelyn. I love this spinning. I love these colors. Finished up a large spinning project, and now she's getting ready to make the Fairpoint shawl in engineering yellow. My husband was promised a 3D print in Star Trek communicator button as a shawl pin. I love that. So it's going to match dark green and yellow merino, Corriedale merino from Hilltop Cloud, deep stash, and then the light gray, which is this one here, I think, she bought last month specifically for this project. All 3 skeins are fingering weight, 100 grams, 2-ply, spun long draw from hand-carded row legs. Each of the Corriedale merino is 360 meters and the BFL is 330. It's amazing yardage, Evelyn, beautiful. And she just finished her first marathon as well, so congratulations. Yes, I agree. Lisa, Glenda is an amazing spinner. I totally agree. Here are some sweater spins that have been going on in our community. This is from Linda, who's in chat today. Green Goddess sweater is done. It looks incredible, Linda. I love this so much. The only change she made was to knit cap sleeves instead of the drop sleeves from the pattern, and she just feels that it fits her better. It looks amazing, Linda. Well done. I love the ease. It's not too tight. It's not too loose. It looks awesome. And this is from Becca. She actually just posted a photo in the Slack channel of the yarn washed and skeined on her table, so definitely go check it out. It's in the #general channel. Finally summited Plying Mountain. There is something very satisfying about seeing a bunch of full bobbins. I was away for part of the day, but did get them wound off and skeined, and then she washed and finished them this morning. Beautiful. This is for her spinning certificate of excellence for her sweater. She's doing a sweater for her final project. So it's blended Ramie and Sari silk. It's just incredible. And then there's some fiber prep and dyeing that's been going on in the community. This was from Robin. She carded up a whole bunch of this green and then did some hand-pulled roving off of it. It's very bright. I can't wait to see the yarn. Just beautiful. Oh, wow. Rebecca said that Becca counted over 1,700 yards this morning. Wow. That's incredible. That's a lot of spinning. And then also from Lisa, she's been making poonies. They look amazing. All these cotton poonies that she's been spinning recently. And then some spindle spinning to finish us off as we enter into later this week. We'll be starting spindle spun season on the summer solstice and the winter equinox for those that are in the southern hemisphere. And Pauline's been spinning up merino singles on her Turkish spindles, and she's been making her next step is to make plying balls and then to start plying. She's hoping for a 3-ply as the main color for the Cinnabar shawl from Andrew Mowry. Beautiful. Love all that spinning, Pauline. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you, you guys, for sharing all that you do, for contributing so deeply to our community and for being here. I couldn't do this without you. It's been 10 years of you guys participating, contributing, not just financially, but also being a part of the community, contributing to the conversation, enriching us, teaching us, learning side by side. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So thank you, thank you. If you're new here, take a moment to like and subscribe. Click that notification button for when videos go up so that you can keep up and you know, start to integrate into our community. We would love to welcome you in. All are welcome here. I just want to say thank you. We're going to keep this Zoom running as long as we possibly can. So it started this morning at 4 a.m. Pacific, and we're going to run it until people run out of steam. So I am sure that our UK cohort are going to come in sometime in the afternoon and keep it going way into the night. Those in Australia are sleeping right now. Hopefully they will wake up in the middle of the night and keep it going. So thank you to those for your enthusiasm and for your support, your kind words over the years. It has made all the difference. So I want to just thank you from the bottom of my toes for being here. Yeah, Lisa says, look at that green. And Rebecca says, those are some legit poonies. There's a lot of poonies there, Lisa. So thank you, thank you. We will continue the party in Zoom. Please hop onto Ravelry, onto the Slack channel for the link, and or your Patreon feed. If you're not part of the Slack channel, you can look at your post feed and the link is right there for you to join in. So we'll hopefully see you this afternoon. Until then, happy spinning, happy knitting, happy weaving. Rebecca will be back here this time next week with the Wool Circle, and we actually have 3 live streams this month, so we will be gathering again for the live stream the last Tuesday of this month, so in a couple of weeks. So I look forward to seeing everybody then. All right, take care everyone. Bye.